We're about ready for the last final of the day then. It's the A final for the British Pro Kart Championship. Well, I can't quite believe it. We're almost done and dusted here at round number 2 of the UK Kart Series at Shenington. Don't be sad it's over, be happy it's happened, and we are about to be treated to one of the most amazing races. The British Pro Kart Championship never disappoints. Let's see how we go for this one. Clayton Ravenscroft and Craig Day are on the front row, with your UK plate of Bradley Rowe alongside Carl Roddick on row 2. Then it's Oscar Butley and Ethan Taylor, Aaron Alexander and James Stradwell. Then Max Mannion and Alfie Wilkes round out the top 10. They're followed by Ned Booth and Ian Bagger, your junior champion from last year. Then followed by Aaron Lord and Daniel Katazinski. Then Paul Scaife and Conor McCarthy, followed by Mick Lord, Alfie Wiltshire, Riley Bowen, Charlie Brooks, Daruv Rout, Alfie King and Ronnie Rowe. So the top 3, it looks like, have gone through from the B final, at least according to my grid on my screen. So apologies about the information I told you earlier. It looks as though Daruv Rout, Alfie King and Ronnie Rowe have moved their way through. Well, here we go then. For the final time here today at Shenington, we're racing here at the UK Kart Series, and the British Pro Kart Championships fires off for 10 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. We're almost 3 wide there through Cafe Curve, and a couple of drivers getting properly shuffled out wide. Over the grass goes one of them, and that is not the ideal line there on a Cafe Curve. He's going to lose a lot of time and also a lot of places there through lap number 1. Well, Ravenscroft leads us away then, and he is already trying to break away. Look at that, we're side by side for second place though. Up the inside goes Craig Day, and through follows the number 1. Oh my goodness, threading the needle there. What a move from Aaron Alexander. He's already gone from 7th to 3rd, and we're already halfway through the first lap. Unbelievable from driver of the number 1 kart. 4 positions gained, make that 5 positions gained on the first lap, and that's into second place now for Aaron Alexander. Well, that's played into the hands of Clayton Ravenscroft, hasn't it? He's scampered off by 1.5 seconds on that first lap alone. But issue for him is it's Alexander who now leads the charge in behind. Aaron Alexander leading Craig Day, Bradley Rowe and Oscar Butley as they now look to chase down Clayton Ravenscroft. So, of course, that initial breakaway from the pole really helping him there for Clayton. But now as they settle in to genuine pace, the metronome starts to tick. Who will find that ultimate pace here across the rest of this final? 8.5 minutes of racing still left to go here at Shenington at round number 2 of the UK Kart Series. And battles galore here in the A final of the British Pro Kart Championship. Oh, little cheeky move there down the inside. That was a cheeky one from Ethan Taylor. I think half in defence there on Paul Scaife and half an attack there on James Stradwell when he stayed in position. He's held position there in 9th place. It was actually Mick Lord who was attacking there. He'd already made up the position earlier in the lap on Paul Scaife. And a move ahead as well, Carl Roddick making it past on Max Mannion. Well, there is our answer, a 49.6 from Aaron Alexander. New fastest lap of the race. Quicker than Clayton Ravenscroft by a 1.5 tenths of a second. So he's got another 1.3 seconds to find here, but the race is still on for the overall victory. However, comparatively to the rest of the field, both Ravenscroft and Alexander faster than everyone. They were the only drivers on that second lap down in the 49s. Everyone else in the 50s or 51s on that previous lap. As whoa, big move down the inside. That was super late on the brakes and gets a wallop for his troubles as well. There's the number 100 of Ethan Taylor. Sends it up the inside there. I believe that was on James Stradwell, but then the up and under gets sorted on the exit. And no, James Stradwell had already moved ahead, so that was battling with Paul Scaife, I think. Scaife gave him a little bit of a wallop there as he came back through on the inside, and they reshuffled themselves as they were. Well, those two are continuing on here. The 100 of Taylor now looking down the inside into Stratford, but it's not going to work on the brakes then. And battles in behind. I think that might have been the 2 Lords actually going side by side. Mick and Aaron close to each other on circuit there. Yeah, Mick getting shuffled back there behind Aaron now. So Aaron Lord into 11th, Mick Lord down into 12th, and Alfie Wilkes, Iron Bagger and Alfie Wiltshire going with them as well. So Iron Bagger in a bit of an Alfie sandwich there in 14th for the moment. But we are quickly flying through this race then, as there's a nice exit from the number 100 of Ethan Taylor. Once again, goes side by side now with Paul Scaife. No love lost between these two, but Scaife stays ahead and holds on to 9th place then as they head on to now lap number 5 of proceedings. And now who's this getting involved in the squabble as well? That'll be Aaron Lord, won't it, who just made the overtake on his namesake a lap or so ago. Now getting stuck in with this battle at the bottom end of the top 10. Back up the inside goes Aaron there. down at the right-hander, but he can't get a good enough exit to get alongside and get past Ethan Taylor. But the 63 will have to rethink that move either later on in the lap or maybe try again next time around. But these 10-minute races, as we say, go past pretty quickly, and there won't be too long for things to contend with. The leaders, I think, are nose to tail. I do believe Ravenscroft and Alexander are nose to tail almost. 0.3 of a second now between the race leaders. It's Craig Day and Bradley Rowe who are absolutely nose to tail there in their squabble for the last position on the podium. But quickly, Alexander is closing in on Ravenscroft. That gap now less than 0.4 of a second, and there they are on your screen. The number one of Aaron Alexander has closed the gap to Clayton Ravenscroft as we're side by side there down into Stratford between Day and Rowe as well for third place. As the UK plated driver been able to find a way through? No, not quite yet. Pulled alongside there, but was forced to the outside line. Here's the move for the lead though. Oh, aggressive up and over the curb there for the number one. Oh, what a move there from Aaron Alexander, but we'll go too late on the brakes. They'll run side by side on corner exit, but thank goodness for Alexander. That means that Ravenscroft loses the exit speed, but dives straight back up the inside into T1. They'll run side by side once more into Cafe. Looks to hook up the up and under and get the better exit, will Clayton Ravenscroft. But can he launch an attack? The two teammates here battling down towards Stratford Hairpin. Defending goes the number one of Aaron Alexander. Feels under a bit of pressure, but does have the overall pace here on Clayton Ravenscroft. If Aaron can stop defending and get into a rhythm of things, I think it's only a matter of time until he scampers off. And let's see if Clayton knows that as well. I think Clayton might have just missed his chance though. Look at that gap. It's opened up by a couple of kart lengths now, and now Clayton is not close enough to re-send a move up the inside. And like I say, once Aaron gets that bit of a gap, with that pace he has, fastest lap of a 49.1, I think he will just scamper off with this one. 49.5 on that one versus a 49.6 for Clayton Ravenscroft behind. Craig Day and Bradley Rowe still battling. Let's look at the rain. The rain's coming down here at Shenington once again. Well, could you think it could get any crazier here in the A final here for the British Pro Kart Championship? It's raining, and it's raining heavily here at Shenington. It is really starting to come down, and all of these drivers are on slick tyres. Look at this, using the curves to perfection there is Aaron Alexander. Well, they're going to have to be hooking up those even more through the rest of this race. We've still got just less than 4 minutes left to go. And some heavy precipitation is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Ravenscroft trying to stick with Alexander, but for the moment can't quite keep on the tail of your current race leader. But this now will be a race of one, how aggressive you want to be with your lap time, and two, keeping it on the straight and narrow here. Aaron Alexander, all needs to do is just keep it facing the right direction and keep it on the black stuff, but that's going to be easier said than done here around a damp and treacherous Shenington kart circuit. It is raining sideways here. The clouds have quickly come over here at Shenington, and we've gone from what was some quite nice sunshine to absolutely catastrophic rainfall. Look at how pedestrian they are now through the corners, trying to get the power down as the rear just constantly tries to snap on them. Well, battle's still continuing on. The drivers aren't hampered by the rainfall in terms of battles, but it just is going to be more challenging to get the moves done here on the slick tyres. That was the 86 of Carl Ruddock applying the pressure now on Oscar Buckley, as we can now hear the rain on our commentary box. It is that loud. Wow, bucketing it down here at Shenington. My goodness, it is coming down. This is going to be almost impossible here on slick tyres to get through this race. We've got just over 2 minutes still left to go on the clock. Well, it did change in that battle for sixth. Carl Ruddock through on Oscar Buckley, then it changes behind as well. Paul Scaife through now on Max Mannion, and it is only getting heavier. I can't believe the conditions here. It's hail. It's hailing here at Shenington. Unbelievable scenes here in the last race of the day. Look at that camera shot. I feel so sorry for our cameramen out there today. They are getting pelleted now by the hail out there as they bring you these amazing camera shots here from Shenington. Unbelievable scenes here at Shenington as the, I was going to say rain, the hail only gets harder. How are these drivers keeping it on the black stuff? I do not know. I would have spun off at the first possible opportunity in this race, but Aaron Alexander still leading the way by quite some margin. You might notice the light boxes all on around the circuit. That's not a flag being shown, or it is a flag being shown, but it's not a yellow or a red. It is the yellow and red striped flag, which means slippery surface. So drivers just needing to be careful that the track conditions have changed, but I think they probably knew that without the need for the slippery surface flag, to be honest. Look at that! Oh my goodness, we can barely see through the rainfall now as Aaron Alexander continues to lead us on down into Stratford Corner once more for the 11th time in this race. Well, what was I saying earlier? Aaron Alexander was doing a 49.1. That was the fastest time of the race so far. Well, he's just popped in a 1 minute and 2.2. We've lost 13 seconds of lap time here, and I can only imagine those lap times are going to keep getting worse here. And you see now the spray getting kicked up by the slick tyres and the amount of standing water there getting hit by Aaron Alexander. He's got to be so careful here over the last couple of laps of proceedings, because one little snap of oversteer on a puddle and suddenly the car goes all sorts of light. I say the black stuff is it's not quite black anymore as well. Straight on, almost into our camera position there goes one of the drivers. As you see, you saw him there dancing the car into the corner, just could not get the steering angle on. The car would not do what he wanted it to do, and straight off the circuit. I think he managed to keep it out the barrier just about, but again, look at the standing water there as Aaron Alexander tries to put the power down and almost loses the car in a straight line. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable weather conditions here at Shenington. Have you ever seen anything like this with slick tyres on these Pro Karts? Well, Aaron Alexander will be counting his lucky stars. Only one more lap to go. Whether he can see that the last lap board is out or not, I don't know. But look at him dancing the kart there, down through Park Bend and into Cafe. Where's Clayton Ravenscroft gone? Have we lost him from the race? Has he dropped into the pack? Well, he has. I think he's out of the race, potentially. Craig Day's into second. No, he's just dropped to fifth. I think Ravenscroft just struggling. He's just popped in a 1:11. So from the race lead now, dropping now potentially even out of the top five for Clayton Ravenscroft. Craig Day is into second. James Dradwell into third. Bradley Rowe back up into fourth. Your UK-plated driver from round one at fullback. And Ravenscroft now down into fifth place. But he seems to be, pun intended, a sitting duck out there at the moment, as his lap time's way off the pace of the drivers around him. I think a mechanical issue of some sort for Clayton Ravenscroft. He's able to wrangle the kart round, but not at the same pace as the drivers around him. But here comes Aaron Alexander, was dominant in the dry conditions earlier on in this race, and has been even more impressive in the wet. Take a bow. Aaron Alexander drifts the kart round the final corner to win in the most amazing final here at Shenington. The British Pro Kart Championship A final goes to Aaron Alexander. And who will finish in second place? Things might happen here on the... Oh, that's a big off. Huge off there. Oh my goodness, through Hanger. That is a very fast section of the circuit. And I said how much the drivers were sliding there on a straight line down the Hanger straight. I wouldn't be surprised if someone goes off through Hanger. That's exactly what has happened. I hope that driver's all okay there in the barriers. That was a sizable off there into the tyre wall for Ethan Taylor on the number 100. I can confirm it is Ethan Taylor who is in the wall there as he moves the tyres off of him. Wow, that's a big off for Ethan. I hope he's all okay. He seems to be, or he's certainly conscious in the car. Hopefully all okay for himself. What a shame to end the race like that for himself, as Ethan was battling so well early on, wasn't he, in the number 100? Sadly, race didn't end how he would have hoped there. But Aaron Alexander takes the victory then in a very topsy-turvy British Pro Kart Championship A final there, followed by Craig Day and James Dradwell in the top three. Bradley Rowe and Iron Bagger round up the top five, followed by Alfie Wilkes. Clayton Ravenscroft did hold on to P7 then with another 1:11 there on that final lap. He was followed by Oscar Butley, Paul Scaife and Max Manium in the top 10. Then it was Ned Booth, Mick Lord, Aaron Lords, Daniel Kutazinski, Conor McCarthy, Ronnie Rowe, Charlie Brooks, Carl Ruddock, Alfie Wiltshire, Daruv Rao, Riley Bowen, Alfie King and Ethan Taylor, your final drivers there of 23. Well, wow, what a way to end the day here at Shenington. We were treated to some awesome racing there across all 7 of those finals. We knew there might be a bit of rain, but we certainly didn't expect that. That was unbelievable, and I'm now thinking, I'm hoping I can get my little VW up out of the grass. We'll wait and see. Anyway, racing has come to a close here for round number 2 of the UK Kart Series here from Shenington, and what a day it has been. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the live stream. It's been an honour to guide you through all of the action here from Shenington. My name is John Ratcliffe. Make sure you go and drop me a follow at Ratters Media on Instagram if you want to go and drop me a follow and support support my commentary journey. I'd really appreciate that. And make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel as well, so you don't miss any of the future rounds of the UK Kart Series. Next time out, it'll be round 3 at Houghton Park on the 3rd of May. And we can only hope that the weather doesn't do something like that. I think the drivers are going to take some time to dry off after that last race. Well, from all of us here at Shenington, it is goodbye. We will see you next time out at Houghton Park on the 3rd of May. See you then.